biggest challenge for ourselves right now is how do we keep up with the sophisticated, ever aspiring consumer. That is our biggest challenge right now. So, I mean, oversupply is not so much of a big issue because we have chosen and selected to be in places where we have strong residential community. So, that's not so much a big challenge for us. Likewise, in terms of e-commerce as well, I think it's about embracing e-commerce and we hold activities that we embrace e-commerce platform. Our tenants are all very cleverly using e-commerce platform to actually sell their goods and services, be it a cinema selling their tickets online, but people still come physically to the cinema to watch a movie, or perhaps a physical restaurant with only 25 seats, but yet they take part in your sort of Uber Eats, Deliveroo or Foodpanda, so they can extend to a wider audience, right? So in terms of that, if you really think about it, e-commerce is not so scary because you can actually work together with that closely. But what is scary is when people become very sophisticated now. The Chinese today, a lot of them have been traveling a lot. So all over the world, particularly they always start with Southeast Asia. So which means that right now the consumer almost expects a mall to have either Southeast Asian or a Thai restaurant. Because they say that, yeah, you should, that's what you should have, at the same time, because of social media, they're so exposed to so many new concepts, right? Having a yoga studio is no longer good enough. They want aerial yoga. Aerial yoga is one where they have the cloths hanging, down from the ceiling, and you do your yoga there. Because they're exposed to that, they say, why can't we have the latest and the greatest, And at the same time, they tell a personal care store that, look, your items are no longer good enough for me. Can you bring in more imported soaps, more imported items? Because I want to use the best. I want my kids to use the best, So that is how you continually keep up with these people. And the pace is pretty fast, I would say, the way they want to improve their lifestyle. But on the other hand, this is also the same group of people that get tired of things quite easily. So like today, cheesecake is a big thing, right? Long queue. But 1 year later, it becomes irrelevant because they're bored of cheesecake. It's no longer in. They want something else new. So as a mall operator, how do we keep up, right? So how do we have the right tenure, of leases to make sure that we have the right sort of tenant mix at the right time for the right duration? That's an art and a science, of course, In terms of activities as well, what seemed to be quite fun that we, used to hold in the past, to them, they become too childish for them now. Not sophisticated enough, not relevant enough, So this is something that we have to continually work together with not just the shoppers themselves, but also with the tenants. And it also means that our mall teams need to keep their ears very closely to the ground to know what are people thinking, what do they want, what are they aspiring towards. So I would say that when we get that right, that's very hard work actually, but when we get that right, then we know that, okay, this is one challenge that we're actually managing as best as we can.